Howdy there, brothers and sisters. Charity, in a general sense, love, benevolence, goodwill, that disposition of heart which inclines men to think favourably of their fellow man and to do them good. In a theological sense, it includes supreme love to God and universal goodwill to men. Point 2, in a more particular sense, love, kindness, affection, tenderness, springing from natural relations as the charities of father, son and brother. Point 3, liberality to the poor, consisting in almsgiving or benefactions or in gratuitous service to relieve them in distress. First Corinthians 13, chapter 13, verse 1. Though I speak with the tongues of men and of angels, and have not charity, I am become as sounding brass, or a tinkling cymbal. And though I have the gift of prophecy, and understanding all mysteries, and all knowledge, and though I have all faith, so that I could remove mountains, and have not charity, I am nothing. And though I bestow all my goods to free the poor, and though I give my body to be burned, and have not charity, it profit me nothing. Charity suffereth long, and is kind. Charity inviveth not. Charity vaunteth not itself, is not puffed up, doth not behave itself unseemly, seeketh not her own, is not easily provoked, thinketh no evil, rejoice not in iniquity, but rejoice in the truth, beareth all things, believeth all things, hopeth all things, endureth all things. Charity never faileth. But whether there be prophecies, they shall fail. Whether there be tongues, they shall cease. Whether there be knowledge, it shall vanish away. For we know in part, and we prophesy in part. But when that which is perfect is come, then that which is in part shall be done away. When I was a child, I spake as a child. I understood as a child. I thought as a child. But when I became a man, I put away childish things. For now we see through a glass darkly, but then face to face. Now I know in part, but then shall I know, even as also I am known. And now abideth faith, hope, charity, these things, but the greatest of these is charity. Yes, I'd like to apologise for not having enough charity in the last week, and for my behaviour and my hasty decisions, calling someone out and making a video about them. So I apologise to you, Jay, for that, Sister Jay. And I could have done it better, and I had a bit of a little whinge, like a crybaby, like a sook, we call them here in Australia, a sookie boy, saying that I didn't have anyone to support me, and if I had been patient, that would have happened. And I'm glad to say I've had support, and that both sides in this have been supported by some lovely people, and I thank you very much for that. But I'll tell you a little story. Not only did I put that video up, but on Thursday morning a brother sent me an email. So when I woke up, the email was there, and he asked me if I could take the video down, and he sort of, what I took on board as a backward compliment. I got a bit, my flesh rose up, and I said, yeah, I'll take it down if this and this and this happens. And I sent off the reply to his email, and I also got ready to go to work. I was at work, and I copied that reply I did in the email and pinned it to the comment in the comment section of the video I did, so it was like a demand. Anyway, I started work and we were doing some gardening, doing some weeding and general stuff in a parkland that the company I work for has a contract for. Anyway, there was these little bamboo tree stakes, and I was bending over to pull out this weed, this sort of flat grass weed, which was near the stake, a little thin bamboo stake, and as I pulled the weed up, the stake came up and got me in the left eye. And as soon as that happened, I thought, oh man, I thought of the person I'd made the video about having trouble with the eye, and I thought how harrowing it is to have something wrong with your eye, and I couldn't see out of that eye clearly. It was blurry all day, and all I could think of was the person I made the video about and how I put that precious fleshy comment and how I got a poke in the eye and I deserved it. That was, I don't really like using the word karma, but you reap what you sow. That was God's karma poking me in the eye. And because I upset someone who was a friend of mine and not only put personal stress on them, not thinking about their situation with their upcoming operation for their eye and the stress that on top of that, it's not that's not having charity. And charity is long suffering, and how many times you forgive your brother? 70 times 7. And don't forget, get rid of the plank in your own eye before you look at someone else's eye. All that sort of stuff. And I googled the word, well, I did a web search. Doesn't have to be Google. I'm not going to promote Google, but I did a web search on Christian words for karma, and it came up with 15 Bible verses. So yeah, I took some of them in. Reaping what you sow being probably one of the best ones. And I do apologise. I behaved like a child, and like I said, a sookie boy, and I could have done things a lot better. And why should I get all prideful if someone wants to come on my video and make comments? They can go for it. Why should I have to pin a comment with a demand there saying this person has to do that before I get back in fellowship? I got what I deserve. I got a poke in the eye, and I'm sorry. And yep, I learned a lesson. I thought I'd learn a lesson before I got poked in the eye, but that's when it hit home. And I went home that day and I had a good conversation with someone who helped me out, and thanks to that person. And I thought there was no help there, but there was. And I thank you so much, and I thank people for being ladies and gentlemen. And I wasn't so much that way, a gentleman. So that's it, and I'll try and get back to making other videos, but I just thought I'd apologise for my behaviour. And it's not a admission of being in the wrong so much, it's just wrong behaviour in general, if you know what I mean. Anyway, cheers and God bless.